त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Continuing. Third verse. Kim punarbrahmanaः punyaः bhakta rajarshayasthatha anityamasukham lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam. Now, this is a continuation of what we saw yesterday. The controversial verse. The verse which said, Apischet suduracharah papebhyah papakrittamaha striyo vaishya tatha shudraha tepi yanti param gatim. So this was this verse creates controversy. Why? Because Papa Yonayah, meaning people who have life which is full of Papa. And then in the same breath are mentioned women. Women's life considered full of Papa. And of course that makes for a very not a very not in keeping with the Shastra's message. Shastra's message does not exclude women. Nowhere it does that. So suddenly to find here the Gita, which is called as Gitopanishad, to find it calling women's bodies and minds full of Papa and born of Papa. And so Pujya Swamiji's explanation is very wonderful, resting on just one word, tatha. So tatha means what? In the same manner. And then the tatha is like a comma that breaks, not even a comma, it's something that breaks, it's a semicolon that breaks these two sentences. This one sentence, it breaks into two so that it's not a run-on sentence. So, mamhi vyapashritya, taking recourse in me alone, ye api syuhu, whoever they may be, papa yonayah. So, papa yonayah, and then what? Striyo vaishyas tatha shudraha. So the other three mentioned, as we saw yesterday, are not Papa Yonayah. They are not born of Papa. All these groups of people are not born of Papa because it says Tatha. In the same manner, even other disadvantaged groups who have theoretically been left out of studying the Veda, and that is, we know that is there. Left out from going to temples, left out from studying the Veda. Veda is only not for you. These kinds of people, even they can get moksha, Bhagavan says, because even if they have been left out, if they take recourse to me, if they take sharanagati in me, if they take refuge in me, I will cross them over the ocean of samsara, and they too can study, they too can get moksha. This we saw. Then this next verse which we is chanted, Kim punaha brahmanaha punyaha. Kim punaha, then what to talk of brahmanas? Brahmanas means what? People who are initiated into Vedic study, who have access to all the mantras, who have access to the study of the Upanishad very easily. What to talk of them? Meaning, especially if you belong to that category, please don't waste your time. Please don't waste your time and become mokshabhimukha. Become interested in moksha completely. And then not only brahmanas, rajarshayah tatha. Rajanahate rishayascha rajarshayah. They are rajas and they are also rishis, like King Janaka, not Sita's father, but some other King Janaka appearing in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, appearing also in Mahabharata as some kind of an erudite king. Not sure. And then one more, this thing, King Ashwapati, another king, of which we don't know much, but not sure whether they were fictional, and it doesn't matter because they were seen as rajas, and they were rajas, they belonged to a kingly line and they had royal connections, but they were also what? Very much knowledgeable. They were rishis, they had atmajnanam. In fact, all the rishis in the forest used to send their brahmacharis to study from King Janaka. This was the story. And so like this, because he was a jnani. So what to talk of the people who don't have any kind of difficulty, no obstacles, no demerits, no disadvantages, not born in an animal body. And then, so they should also take to this knowledge, anityam asukham lokam, anityam asukham lokam. Imam prapya bhajasva mam bhajasva, serve me, put your mind in me, and be completely one with me. And why to be only one with me? Because I am the one who will take you, the knowledge along with my grace will take you across the ocean of samsara. It's a different rendition here. One second. Yeah, I'm looking at the translation of the last one. Yeah, the English translation, if you look there, this has been translated properly, 932. Indeed, those who have taken refuge in me, even if they have origins in Papa, full stop. And then women, Vaishyas, etc., can also go on this highest path, which is, what is that? Path of moksha. The translation is okay there. So here, why to take recourse to Bhagavan? Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya. Having gained your birth in this loka. What is this loka? The lakshana of this loka. What is this loka characterized by? This loka is characterized by anityam. Anityam means what? Impermanent. Asukham, unpleasant. Unpleasant and impermanent loka this is. And then Bhagavan says, being in this unpleasant and impermanent loka alone should qualify you for this knowledge. Why? Because it should give vairagya. Sick of this place, sick of this kind of thing, sick of keeping on trying to milk the permanent from the impermanent and failing miserably each and every time. And so that's why anityam asukham lokam prapya, being in this and recognizing your predicament of trying to make the finite into infinite, trying to make dukkha into sukha all the time and failing miserably and getting into more asukha, you should definitely take recourse to me, especially if you're sick of this state of affairs. And then the last verse is very beautiful. Pujya Swamiji wrote a 10-page article on this. Very beautiful verse, and we will see this in detail. Manmana bhava mad bhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. Yeah. So, it all starts with M, ma, 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 ma. Very nice alliteration. Right at the outset you can see the wonderful alliteration, and it's a very laden verse. And if you just gloss over it, it won't make much sense. Manmana bhava. Be the one whose mind is totally with me. Who is this me? Ishvara, Bhagavan. Mad bhakto bhava. Be the one who is devoted to me. Madhyaji bhava. Be the one who, or whatever he or she offers, whatever you offers, let it go to me. Mam namaskuru. Surrender to me. Mam namaskuru. And then what if you do this, what will happen? Mameva eshyasi. You will get only me. Evam yuktva. Having fortified yourself and your life in this manner, you will get only me. As what? Atmanam. You will get me as the truth of yourself. Very nice it is. You will get me as the truth of yourself. And what is that? Matparayano bhava. One more thing. Matparayana means be the one whose final end is me. Whose ultimate goal is me, 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 me alone. So, the first word itself, manmana bhava, manmanaha bhava, leaves us completely confused. Manmana bhava means be the one whose mind is always with me. Who is this me? Ishvara. So then, what do I tell myself after reading this? I should be thinking of God all the time. First thought, God. Oh, I managed. Good. Next thought, God. Yay! We are getting somewhere. Third thought, God. Fourth thought, this seems odd. Okay? This is kind of odd. Fifth thought, dog. Oh my God, because I saw one. I see one dog, and then immediately God is displaced by dog. And then I see something else, and then so this is how the mind is. And then we keep shaking. I only want to think of God. I don't want to think of anything else. Oh, some other thought came. Bye-bye to that thought. Come back to God. And it seems like, what is that? Rolling a boulder uphill. That's the kind of ayasa, prayatna, that's the kind of effort it seems to require. So, then the command here, bhava, imperative, the command of Lord Krishna to be what? God-minded all the time, God-oriented all the time, seems like a really distant dream, a pipe dream. Why does it feel like a pipe dream? Because look at what happened even in this small example. What to talk of whole day? Even 1 minute we cannot be only with God. So what to talk of the whole day? It's totally impossible. Sounds overwhelming and frankly, despondent. One becomes despondent like this. When then you say, I don't want to have any other thoughts. I'm shaking off all the thoughts. I don't want to have any other thoughts. Don't want to have any other thoughts. And then what happens? Then you're stuck with the thought. Which thought? You're stuck with the thought of not wanting to have any other thoughts. What to do now? Back to square one. Pujya Swamiji has to come to the rescue. And he says very beautifully that the mind always goes from one thing to another thing, to the third thing, to the fourth thing, to the fifth thing. This is how the mind is. You cannot say, don't jump to the mind. It is supposed to jump. Otherwise you cannot see anything. Otherwise you cannot jump as soon as there is some traffic. You cannot jump out of the way if the mind was not quick in its reflexes and in the way that it processed all the vrittis, the thoughts. You could not react quickly. And also the perception has to be smooth, like even the perception of movement. When I do this with a hand, if the mind was stuck in one place, you would see the hand go like this. But you don't see that. You see it go very smoothly. This means the mind is constantly changing, shaping itself and bringing back the information about what is seen, processing that information so that you can act on it. This is how the mind is. So you cannot tell the mind, that I want to only think of God. But there is also another aspect to the mind in the sense that it is, even though it jumps and even though it is all over the place, it can focus on one thing to the exclusion of everything. If you have threaded a needle, anybody who has threaded a needle knows. When you're threading a needle, where is the mind? On the eye of the needle. The whole mind is there. You can't look, you don't even know what's happening around you. You have no idea who is there, who has come, who has gone. This blessed thread should go inside the needle. That's all it is. That's all. The focus is so sharp. Until it comes out of the other end, you are not at peace. But then the mind is, even though it jumps a lot, it can only do one thing at a time. It is focused on this, and then it's focused on that, and then it's focused on that. And these two characteristics of the mind don't leave much room for me to follow this command, manmana bhava. Be the one whose mind is always with God, with Ishvara. So, this poses a difficulty because when we understand Bhagavan, the concept of Ishvara, especially in the Hindu tradition, when we look at, then we see that it is not possible to focus on Ishvara. Why? Because God in the Hindu tradition, in the Vedic tradition, is not presented as an object. Bhagavan is the subject, the truth of you. God is not something that you can enclose in a thought. Apple, immediately the thought goes and encloses apple. Whether you think of the fruit or the computer, that's none of my business, but whatever you think of, the mind goes and encloses the object called apple. Apple. Orange. Oh yeah, it was the fruit after all. Okay. Apple, orange, coconut, table, pot. You see this. You see each thing in the mind. It's an object, and the thought goes to enclose that object and bring it back to the mind. And this is how perceptions take place. Table. Yes, I can enclose it. It's an object that can be enclosed by a thought. Chair, object enclosed by a thought. God. What are you going to enclose? No, I have a picture of Rama in the room. We are not talking of that. We are talking of Ishvara. Ishvara as Jagat Karanam, Brahma as the cause of the universe, God as the cause of the universe. How are you going to enclose in a thought? That's why any kind of a command like this, Manmana Bhava, etc., be the one whose mind is always with me, poses a lot of problems, causes a lot of problems. Because this was not at all part of the plan. We don't know how to enclose God in the scope of a thought. Why? God is non-separate from the thought. Object of thought is God. Every thought is basically not without the presence of what we call Bhagavan. Everything, not just every thought. Every thought is of a thing anyway. Everything in the universe is what? Bhagavan. Oh, this is very easy, so I can think of a few of my favorite things, and then I'll be thinking of Bhagavan. If you have that awareness, yes. We are all very experts. We have become experts at loopholes. So, how do I do this? What is the Manmana Bhava means what? Be the one to see that whatever there is in the universe is none other than Bhagavan. What is Bhagavan. What is means what? Whatever is. That which is objectified with the eyes, that which is objectified by the ears, and other three sense organs, that which is a object of inference, one step, multi-step, that which is an object of upama, that which is the object of arthapati, anupalabdhi, etc., anything is all Bhagavan. Not only that, in the tradition, thinker is also what? Bhagavan, Ishvara. Object is Bhagavan, subject is Bhagavan. And so, this subject-object difference is also Bhagavan. And so, therefore, you can't think of Bhagavan exclusively as an object, because Bhagavan is not an object, it is the truth of you. It's the truth of everything. And this was taught in the Chandogya Upanishad using the pot clay example. We have seen that. Sat eva asit. In the beginning, it was all unmanifest. This Jagat was there. How was it there? In a form that was unmanifest. Let us call it Sat. And now what do we see? A Vyakrita Jagat. Vyakrita means a differentiated Jagat. Before what was there? Undifferentiated Sat. Between the undifferentiated Sat and the differentiated Jagat, what's the distance? No distance. Just a change. And that too, an as though change of name and of form. An as though change. It's not a real change. And so, this differentiation, the differentiation is what? In the form of a series of causes and effects. Series of cause and effects. We have pot, we have clay, we have even this table, and what else? Wood. Series of cause effects. Wood is the cause of table, clay is the cause of pot, but then in themselves they are related to pot, clay is cause, related to the table and chair, wood is the cause, but related to tree, wood is the effect. See that? From one standpoint, cause, from another standpoint, effect. The whole series of things in the Jagat is what? Each one is dependent on the other. Series of cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. And so what is this Bhagavan? I know, it's cause. Some people say. And then I know, no, it's not cause, it is effect. Both are right. Why? Because ultimately what we call Bhagavan is neither cause nor effect. It is you. It is that which transcends the cause-effect dyad. There is that which transcends the cause-effect dyad. Right, wrong dyad. Dharma, adharma dyad. This is what Nachiketa wants to know in the Kathopanishad. Baby Nachiketa, what does he want to know? Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat, kritat akritat, anyatra bhutat cha bhavyat cha, yat pashyasi tadvada. That which is other than dharma, adharma. You see, this is all a kind of a delicate dyad. The whole Jagat is made up of oppositional things. Snake and mongoose can't stand one another. And then snake, mongoose, many people don't know what mongoose is. You can Google it later, not now. And then snake and mongoose, and then what else? Predator and prey, good and bad, eater, eaten, like this. And then it's a series of dyads. And we can't stop there. Nachiketa knows this. So he says, tell me something. Oh Lord Yama, other than dharma, other than adharma. This dharma, adharma, I know. I see the people fighting all the time. I see somebody making off with somebody else's wallet. I see that other person then being punished. All these things I see. Tell me something. I don't know. Anyatra asmat kritat akritat. Kritat and akritat means cause and effect. This cause and effect also we see. Tell me that which is beyond the cycle of cause and effects, beyond this enmeshment of either being cause or effect. Then tell me something that is not coming under the spell of time. These three things he asks. And from there we know that when one is mired in these opposites, in these dyads, then what is that? Samsara gets a boost. Because based on this dyad alone, the series of dyads alone is duality. That is what we call Dvaita. Dvaita, D for Dvaita, D for dyads. This is how it is. So what is Bhagavan? And then when we see that the truth of something, like, when you look at the truth of something, like for example, the truth of pot is what? Clay. Two things have to be understood. And we already saw that a little bit in the beginning of this chapter, but it helps us to see it again at the end in the form of a summary. What is that? Clay and pot. The truth of the pot is clay, but then it's a very funny connection between pot and clay. From the standpoint of pot, clay is intrinsic or incidental? Intrinsic. Without clay, there is no pot or any substance. You can have gold, silver, doesn't matter. But still, without that, there is no pot, without the substance. But from the standpoint of the substance, is the pot intrinsic or incidental? Incidental. The Jagat, therefore, is an incidental expression of Brahman. And we can't say, why did Bhagavan create? Why did Bhagavan make the Jagat? The Bhagavan did not make the Jagat. Oh, then what is this here? Jagat is Bhagavan. Jagat is non-separate from Bhagavan. Bhagavan did not make the Jagat. Then what made the Jagat? One's own karmas. So first we will say, there are two answers to what made the Jagat. First we will say, one's own karma made the Jagat. And when I brought my karma, I needed a stomping ground to exhaust the karma, so therefore I am born here. Some other people have alien karmas, they are born in alien places. It all depends on the various karmas. This is the provisional answer. But if you are a seasoned Vedantin, and then suppose somebody asks, why did Bhagavan make the Jagat? What should be your answer? What Jagat? What Jagat? All I see is Bhagavan. What Jagat? There ain't no Jagat. This should be this is the final answer. First we have the interim answer. After that what? We have the final answer. The final answer is that this Jagat is non-separate from Bhagavan, and just like the shadow is non-separate from you, and then do you count your shadow? No. Just like you don't count your shadow, you also don't say Jagat and Bhagavan together. No. Bhagavan made this Jagat and made all the bodies. This is all okay for baby Vedanta, not at the end of such a, deep chapter. Such a deep chapter, at the end, Bhagavan is making one see the truth of everything and connecting it to verses 3 and 4 at the beginning, because it is at the end, it is all becoming very tightly summarized. Manmana bhava. Be the one whose mind is never away from me. How to do this? Okay, you have explained a little bit, but how to do this? Do the opposite. What do you mean do the opposite? Do the opposite means you try going away from Bhagavan. Right now, okay? See if you can go away from Bhagavan, and then you will know what Bhagavan here is meaning. Think of something other than Bhagavan. Oh, that's easy. I can think of my favorite movie. Favorite movie what? Bhagavan. Think of anything, and then you will see that it is not away from God. Therefore what? Manmana bhava. Whatever you think of is Bhagavan. Please know that. Know that wherever the mind goes, there is Bhagavan. Yatra yatra mano yati madiyam, tatra tatra tavapada pankajam. Very beautiful. Wherever my mind goes means what? Wanders, meanders. Wherever the mind meanders, wherever the mind wanders, it lands on your lotus feet. Level 1 understanding, interim understanding. This is itself very hard to do. This means the whole universe has to be Ishvarized. Ishvarization of the whole universe, takes a long time, takes a lot of emotional maturity. Because we begin with the things we like. It's very easy to Ishvarize chocolate cake. No problem. Yes, Ishvara, fantastic, wonderful, no problem at all. What about Karela? Slightly more difficult. And that is just in the realm of food items. When you come to people, then it's a whole another difficulty. The people you like, no problem. Yes, I knew you were Ishvara long, even before you were born. But the people you find annoying, to see them as Ishvara takes a great deal of practice a great deal of patience and the willingness to let go of all the ragadveshas all at once. That willingness must be there, otherwise all the people will be what? Divided into two, the ones I like, the ones I do not like. And then what? The ones I do not like are of course not Bhagavan. They are not Bhagavan at all. Then who is Bhagavan? Only the people I like. Same thing everywhere. Whatever I like, I can easily convert it into God. And even theologies don't help. Many theologies say, God is good. Please love God because God is good. Then of course the question anybody will ask, what is the question? If God is good, why are difficult and bad things happening? So here we have to see that this manmana bhava is not a mandate for the faint of heart. What it is making one do is get out of one's comfort zone and become a kind of devotee who sees Bhagavan in everything, everywhere, when, all the time. How to practice this? Outside. How to practice this? Better to practice this within first. Within means, again, from the standpoint of this body, in my own antahkarana, there are ways in which I can miss the presence of Bhagavan. Two areas where the presence of Bhagavan can be totally overlooked or missed, we can talk of. The first one is karma. Both my own actions and the result of my actions. When I am acting, I don't think that I am not the agent. What do I think? I am the agent. I am the one doing the work. Simply Bhagavan is getting the credit. I am the one. I worked for this. And what kind of a culture is this? Oh, it's all Bhagavan's grace. Where was Bhagavan? I worked very hard. This is the feeling. So here we can miss the presence of Bhagavan if the understanding that everything is given is not there. So to execute this manmana bhava, this mandate, we have to first see that everything is given. You can't say, I did it on my own. No one can say that. What is this own? I did it with my own hands. You made your own hands? No. You didn't make your own hands. No, I used my brains. Did you make brains? You made your own brains? No, my mother made them. I'll go ask your mother. Mom. If mom is around, go ask mom. Okay? Mom. Yes. I have a question. Sure. Did you make my brains? What will she say? I wish I had. So that you would have not asked these silly questions. Mom doesn't know how to make brains. Mom is the incubator. That's all. Bhagavan, it's all given. Brains are given. Buddhi to do something is given. Hands given. Legs given. Everything given. The ability to act given. The ability to think given. The ability to execute given. And if there is any problem in these abilities, that too is part of the order. It's a mega order which also includes disorder. What we call disorder is included in this vast order. Everything is given. What can you claim? How can you call yourself the agent? When everything is given, how can you claim authorship of anything? Not possible at all. You cannot claim authorship of anything, and in fact, there is no such thing as a self-made person. People keep telling, I'm a self-made man, I'm a self-made woman. What self-made? No, you don't know. I came to this country with $10 in the pocket. $10 was given, see? Yeah, plane ticket somebody paid, was given. The ability to come to this country given. No, I come from a very poor stock, very poor background. I had only 2 sets of clothes. One was on the back, one was hanging on the tree drying. That was given. 2 sets of clothes given. And then what else? I studied under the street light. Good for you. Street light given. Good for you. There was a street light, that's given. Maybe one time he would have studied under a street light, but then won't stop talking about it. Yeah. For 3 generations. Everybody, I think, knows one such person in their lives. The quintessential self-made man. Rubbish. All this is rubbish. No, I had to really convince. I had no money for college. Yet you went, no? Yeah, somehow I went. Okay, keep quiet then. Yeah. So, this awareness that everything in my life has been given and that I am not producing anything at all, except perhaps for some confusion, that's all. I'm not producing anything at all. This is itself Bhagavan awareness. And it is to a certain extent built into the culture. You go to somebody's house and you praise their cooking. Inside they may be feeling happy. Ooh, I did very well. But what will they say? Bhagavan's grace, Ishvara's grace, or my grandmother's grace. I learnt everything I know from the grandmother. Like this they will say. So manmana bhava, the awareness of my place in this universe, in this scheme of things, which has already been given. May I be an instrument, not an author. Author means karta, first case, grammatically. First case means karta. Second case, karma, object, which means what? Bhokta. Third case, let me be instrument. And if I don't see myself as an instrument, I will become another case. What case? Basket case. Yeah, that's what I will do. Yeah, I'll drive myself crazy. It will be a total basket case if I don't see myself as the instrumental case. If I'm stuck in karta, bhokta, agent, victim, there is no end to it. That is the cause of samsara. That is not what Bhagavan means by manmana bhava. Manmana bhava means see that there is a place that you already belong. See that there is a skill set or certain talents or whatever it is that you have to contribute. This is what is a very important aspect of swadharma. Discover that. Understand that. Be with that. Focus on that. And don't keep fighting all the time. Fighting against shadows. Like that fictional character, Don Quixote. He was constantly fighting with shadows. And so, manmana bhava means come to a resting place within yourself. Accept what is, because what is another name of Bhagavan. Accept what is. Don't keep on fighting against it, fighting, resisting. Accept that this is what it is. Accept your talents, accept your shortcomings, accept whatever there is to. Whatever there is, you say, This is how it is, this is what it is, theek hai, okay. Manmana bhava. Very beautiful. And this is how we can be in Bhagavan awareness as far as our own karmas are concerned, karmas and results of karma. So this is to do with whatever I have to do, this we have talked about. Whatever I do is basically because of whatever I have been given, and this is how it is. And then the results of karma also I accept with a happy face. Oh, that's too much. Okay, in the beginning, accept with a sad face. Later on, accept with a happy face. Okay? Yeah. This is called prasada buddhi. In the beginning, prasada. What is this? Why? Why me? So the person who keeps saying, why me, grows into later saying what? Why not me? If it had to happen to somebody, why not me? Let it happen. It's okay. So, whatever comes, I learn to accept. I school myself to accept. Why? Because I'm a karma yogi. My goal in life is not to get something or is not to avoid something. My goal in life is self-growth for the sake of moksha. That is my goal in life. And so, why am I going to be fighting with whatever comes? I learn to accept it, and in learning to accept it, in learning to not fight with it, already there is growth. It's a win-win situation. There is great emotional maturity, there is growth because I'm not constantly at loggerheads with whatever there is. This is one area, the area of karma and karma phala, where we can miss the presence of Bhagavan because of our own penchant for claiming agency and authorship. Another area where we can miss the presence of Bhagavan again is internally, is dharma. Wherever there is dharma, there is Bhagavan. Dharma, as we have seen many, many times, is not a mandate of Bhagavan. What is it? Manifestation of Bhagavan. And what is this dharma? A universal matrix of norms. A universal matrix of norms, and then which everybody has to follow. Why? Because wherever there is dharma, there is a palpable presence of Bhagavan. You can see that in a dharmic person. You can just sense that. So adhering to dharma means being very, very, very close to Bhagavan. Doing what is universally correct, doing what is correct for this time, this place, here and now, and doing what is correct for me. Because there is a custom-made swadharma for everybody, as is shown in the story of two fellows going to the Guru to get blessings for getting married. So the first fellow goes in and comes out wreathed in smiles. He asks the Guru, please give me your permission, can I get married? Guru says, Tathastu, may you find a wonderful girl, please get married. The second one is very happy, oh, I will also get the blessings. Second one goes and the Guru scolds him. What's wrong with you? Are you out of your mind? Why? Because the second one is unemployed and unemployable also. Kind of a drifter. Doesn't have roots. Doesn't show a lot of commitment with regard to many other things in his life. So what's the guarantee that marriage, which has a heavy commitment requirement, this person is very clear, this person may not be capable of that. So swadharma, what is proper for me to do? And then vishesha dharma, what is it that how does Samanya Dharma, the universal matrix of norms, how does it apply to this particular place at this particular time? That interpretation is called Vishesha Dharma. So which Dharma is God? All three manifestations of Dharma, Bhagavan, non-separate from Bhagavan. So if I keep cutting corners, if I keep doing things that I'm not supposed to do, there is a way in which the heart gets hardened and I'm not able to appreciate Bhagavan as Dharma in my own life. Dharma doesn't have to be taught. Just like a baby monkey doesn't have to be taught. You know what? You are just born. Hold on to your mummies. Grip your mummies. Why? Because mommy is never on maternity leave. As soon as she has the baby, what does she do? Jump from tree to tree. The child has to hold on. Why? Because this is where milk is going. My breakfast, lunch and dinner is on the go. And so I have to also be where my nourishment is. The monkeys don't have a class. Hold on to your mommies, otherwise you will die. Nobody teaches the monkeys. It's instinctive. Whereas what about a kitten? It will be like this. The mother will hold the kitten and the mother cat will hold the kitten and take it places. It will just be like this. But the monkey cannot afford to be like this. Monkey has to hold on. That's how the term monkey grip comes from, the baby monkey not letting go. So just like the baby monkey doesn't have to be told, please hold on, otherwise you will die, you will fall from the tree. Similarly, the jiva doesn't have to be told, the human jiva especially, doesn't have to be told, please follow dharma. Dharma is the voice of Ishvara already there in the heart. One knows, I shouldn't be doing this. How does one know I should not be doing this? Because if somebody tried to come and do this to me, they would just disappear. I would make them disappear. I would be so upset, I would make them disappear. I would have no tolerance for this. Therefore I know I should not do this to others. This is what is universal dharma. Do you want to be? Do you want to be what? Defrauded? No. Do you want to be cheated? No. Do you want it to be lied to? No. Everything is a big no. Therefore, I don't do what I don't want to be done to me. Dharma is already in the heart. Religions, Sunday schools, Bala Vihars just reinforce what is already there. What is already there is reinforced. And that dharma is the voice of Ishvara, and the less I follow this voice, the more it falls silent. Naturally. If the voice is not listened to, why will it speak? It will stop speaking, or even if it is speaking at the top of its voice, my ears are numb, I cannot hear. But a person who follows dharma is what? There is no conflict. Is following the path of Ishvara. There is only one flow, and if I am in the flow of dharma, I am in the flow of Ishvara. If I am not in the flow of dharma, I create a parallel flow and full of obstacles, full of various kinds of inhibited paths, dead ends, that leave me deadened to the pursuit of moksha. Manmana bhava, madbhakto bhava. Be the kind of bhakta for whom I am not the means to an end to be accomplished, I am the end. Mat parayano bhava, that's what it means. Madhyaji. Madhyaji is the same as one of the verses we saw. Yad karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad dadasi, juhoshi, cha yat. Whatever you offer, whatever you do, offer it to me first. Tat tat kurushva madarpanam. Madhyaji bhava. Mam namaskuru. Let me be the final place of surrender. The last surrender, the last place of surrender, make that me. Mameva eshyasi. Eshyasi means you will gain me. You will come to me. But this coming, gaining, is all as though in apostrophes. Why? Bhagavan is never separate from you, but the awareness, in one's awareness one has gained because one was far away from Bhagavan, feeling far away or alienated from Bhagavan. When the alienation is no longer there because of this awareness of dharma and karma as Bhagavan, karma phala as Bhagavan, when the alienation goes, you can say, people can say, I have gained Bhagavan. Madhyaji mam namaskuru mameva eshyasi kaunteya. And then matparayanaha mameva eshyasi evam yuktva. Evam yuktva. Preparing yourself in this manner, endowed with all these things that we have talked about in the 9th chapter, in this manner, mameva eshyasi, you will gain me. How will I know I have gained you? Because I am yourself. Mam atmanam eshyasi. You will gain me in the form of yourself. Well, I don't like myself. That's not the self of which we are speaking. That's not the self that we are talking about. What are we talking about? We are talking about the self that is revealed by the Upanishads, that is free, that is not encumbered by sorrow or upset, fear, anger, all these things. We are talking of that self. And that self you will gain me, Bhagavan, as you. You will gain that non-separate understanding of yourself as me alone. And with that, this very beautiful chapter comes to an end. And the last one we will say together, Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahmavidyayam Yogashastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Rajavidya Rajaguhyo Guhya Yogo Nama Navamodhyayah. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. 8 o'clock, satsang.
husband?
So, small announcement, Hariom, I'm Sahadev, and I'd love to play harmonium and chant the names of God, and Swamini Ji has invited me to sing a little before satsang, so 5 or 10 minutes before, and who knows, after that, I will do more. So, hope to see you there. Hariom. Okay.
just